aquí en una mañana nublada, domingo 23 de abril, y tenemos un programa espectacular, el programa Siembra. Este domingo tenemos un invitado especial, JP, y me gustaría dar un poquito de contexto en cuanto al programa. Yo estaba pensando en la cultura de nosotros, de latinos, estábamos hablando de eso, que la música es parte de nuestra vida, está incrustado en nuestra sangre, y entonces yo quería crear una plataforma donde podamos exponer a los músicos latinos aquí en este estado. Y entonces, bueno, fui a este lugar que se llama Sea Monster y escuché la música de Reposado, ese es el nombre del grupo, y es una explosión, una infusión de afro, funk y música latina. Bueno, la pasé tan bien que no solo fui ese día, sino regresé porque la pasé muy bien. Y entonces dije, bueno, quiero invitar al productor, al creador, al fundador de lo que es esta música funk, que tiene un poquito de similaridad de un grupo cubano que se llama Cima Funk. Me encanta ese grupo, también estábamos hablando de eso. Así que voy a presentar a mi invitado especial, JP. Dinos qué es JP. ¿JP de qué?
Jean Paul.
John Paul. Imagínate. John de francés. Un latino con nombre francés. Entonces, cuéntanos un poquito de ti. Cuéntanos de dónde eres y cómo fue que te vino a la mente esa parte creativa del ser humano. De decir, ¿tú sabes qué? Yo vivo aquí, nací aquí, pero quiero crear un poquito de ese mundo latino de mi generación, de mis ancestrales, de mi papá, de mi mamá. Quiero crear eso para mi niña, para mi hija, que ella todavía pueda tener un sentido de pertenencia, ¿verdad? De que tiene una raíz una raíz africana, latina, ¿verdad? Toda esa infusión. Así que, ¿cómo fue que empezó? Y dime de dónde eres primero.
Bueno, yo nací en Queens y toda mi vida, hasta el que tenía como 23, algo así.
Sí.
Ajá. Pero para hacer música latina y todo, yo en Nueva York nunca sentí que era necesario, porque yo creo que ya hay mucho, ya no like I didn't need to,
Okay.
Entonces cuando vine para Washington y yo me quedé aquí por unos años y me metí en la música jazz y funk y todo eso, pero no había mucha música latina.
Yes.
So lo necesitaba, estaba buscando, yo siempre me gustaba la bachata, merengue, salsa y todo lo que es como afro Caribbean, reggae, dancehall, todo. Me gusta todo eso. Pero bueno, nunca estudié o no, yo escuché en las fiestas y ya, me gusta bailar y eso es todo. I mean,
So, nunca te preparaste como músico, pero viste la necesidad de la música afro, porque aquí hay música latina, que es más la música que tiende a lo que es la cumbia, lo que es la música, lo que es estábamos hablando de la ranchera, pero no encontrabas algo donde tenía esa fusión de música que es afro funk con el sabor ese latino. Entonces tú viste esa necesidad aquí y bueno, ¿cómo empezó todo ese proceso? ¿Cómo dijiste, bueno, yo necesito crear ese espacio para para el espacio de Washington State, para Washington State.
No era mucho como para Washington y para, era para mí.
Okay.
Así, yo necesitaba, lo necesitaba. Los ritmos, el tambor y también me estoy madurando, entonces estoy entendiendo que de dónde yo vengo y el tambor, qué significa el tambor para mí, porque yo noto que cuando bailo el tambor entonces de ahí empiezo como eso como empiezo a pensar así y
puedes decirlo en inglés. El tambor es como el latido del corazón.
Ajá.
Y ya de todo, ya después de ese latido, como que todo va fluyendo. Como que todo va entrando en el beat del tambor. Me imagino que es more or less that's what you want to say, right?
It's more personal. Like I'm realizing, for me, I mean, I think a lot of people, or maybe everyone, I don't know, but for me, I notice that the drum speaks to me. So, and I have rhythm. Like I always had a rhythm, so it speaks to me. And then I started realizing, like, oh, the drummer. I always had a connection with the drummer in anything that I do, whether I'm dancing, whether I'm doing a project, whatever. The more I start doing, the more I'm realizing I'm having the connection with the drummer. And then more specific, it evolved into the hand drums and the culture behind that percussion and then like the spirituality that is involved and the discipline. It just became like a lifestyle, like and that I'm realizing, and that's kind of where I am today. So I started just getting little clues as life goes on, like oh, this, and just paying attention. It's like, oh, okay, so I don't know how I'm going to meet people that do this, but I am listening to it. I'm putting myself out there. I know I want it, and then eventually an opportunity comes and I'm like, hey, you want to join, you want to sit in, you want to do something, and just make the space,
So when it is that Reposado was born? What year?
Born in 2016.
Wow. So you guys are still babies, you're in the toddler.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It was not until, that was Reposado, then the spirit was born. The body wasn't formed, nothing. I was learning how to play guitar.
So it was this seed that you already had in there.
Yeah, the thing started flowing out. Yeah, we started to, if you're going to talk tequila, like fill the barrel with the liquid, and then we're putting it to age, In my opinion, it's still aging. And we're gonna release our first batch of music May 12th.
Good.
At the Tractor Traveling. So I'm excited about that. But
so, and the name Reposado, because I was looking, I was trying to research. When I put Reposado, the tequila drink comes up by itself, and then when I put Reposado tequila funk, then you guys come up. So where's the name came from, Reposado? And you was explaining to me a little bit of the meaning and the definition of Reposado, but you also
where does it come from?
Yeah, you was explaining to me what does it mean.
I was playing with
the group.
It was 3 guys. It was like a brotherhood, like my friend who was a drummer and my friend who was a rapper, and me who kind of like was the thing that was putting it together. And I was learning how to express myself so learning how to play the guitar, because we only had drums and rapper, which they could have done their own thing. But then there's me. I was learning how to play the guitar and sing, and I was scared of performing and talking in front of people, and that's why I started doing it in the first place, because I was like, I'm afraid of this. Why am I afraid of this when I know I could be good at this? And so I just started pushing myself to put myself in front of people, no matter how awkward or it was pretty awkward, and like just it was so like my body would like tense up, and like every time, I mean, there was like two people there, and I'm like you know, like I'm just like freaking out. The microphone is like, you know, it's like a journey just to get to speak on the microphone, and it was rough. But anyway, people were enjoying it though, regardless. You know, simple music so that they can just groove on it. You know, just simple. The message was from a good place. It wasn't very developed, but it was from a good place. And I think that's really all you need. Like, people were starting to like gravitate towards this simple, unprofessional music, very raw, nothing, no training, no homegrown,
unfiltered.
Unfiltered. It was just like this, and but people were starting to gravitate towards it, and then we started playing like house parties and like on the street. We played on the street all the time.
So the name Reposado came from?
So my friend's friend, the rapper's friend, Torn Frost, his friend said, we always was drinking Reposado tequila. Okay, so like he just came through. He was like Reposado, and he's like, that's the name right there. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to be associated with tequila like that. Like, but I really enjoyed that. Someone gave us a name. We didn't have to come up with it. And B, the way it flows when you say it. You know, the way it was like Reposado. It was like, okay, but how do we make it fit like a deeper meaning instead of just like party? You know, how do we make it like hit the soul, you know? And if you dig into it, it's like the Reposado is right in the middle. There's joven, reposado, añejo. And Reposado has the spirit of the joven, but then like the sophistication and wisdom of añejo, and it's right in the middle. And it's like it's like a balance. It represents balance to me, patience, or like you know, when it's like the perfect moment. Like Reposado is like the perfect moment where you're rested, you're calm, you're ready, you're willing. You know, it's right in the middle.
Y en el contexto de la bebida es un añejo. It's something that is been sitting there to get that really taste of the, you know, es algo que ellos ponemos para concentrar. So it makes sense. Now, what has been the most difficult thing between this process of getting, you started in 2016. Today we are it's what, 2023, so that is about 7 years, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So what has been the most difficult thing as trying to put all of this together? Because even the band or the group members, just to make sure you find the perfect fit, because and I was talking to you about the group. It's a big band. As you think about it, you have all this. It has the bass, it has the guitar, it has all the air, the horns and brass. Tienes los tambores, tienes el timbal,
organ players,
yes. So what was the most difficult thing to bring those pieces and put them together, and also in your head the music that you wanted, the kind of music, because you already knew and convinced these musicians this is what we need to play.
Well, it was kind of, I think, the most important thing, and I think one of the hardest things was to put myself out there, even when it's uncomfortable. Be resilient and like make decisions for the purpose instead of like for my comfort or for, because that the comfort thing it destroys the art, in my opinion. So once I was already determined that I'm gonna do something, I saw that I work in filling voids. So when I feel like there's a need for something, I kind of make myself that. Like, so with the Latin music, I just started becoming that energy source to give more Latin music with fusion, with Afrobeat and funk, and of course I do it because I want to, but like when there's a void, I feel it. So once I decided I'm going to be doing this, I saw the need, I felt the purpose. This is right. This feels good. Everything kind of was given, like it was like phases. Like the first phase of Reposado was 3 people. Second phase was 2 people, me and just the drummer, no rapper. The third phase was 5 people, where it was me, drums, guitar, bass, and horn. One horn player. So that was a phase, and that taught another thing. Like, okay, how does that work, and what kind of music? And then the next phase was the big band, so more like 8 people. So like a horn section, and the same setup. Oh, with a keyboard player, so more like 8, 9. Keyboard player, horn section. Still no congas though. I know I wanted, but I couldn't. I didn't have access to any of the Latin players, or I didn't know anybody yet. And then once we got the congas, okay, now tequila funk, because I was like, yes, we want to play tequila funk, but we are not playing tequila funk yet. We are just playing funk. Like, it's not there yet. It's still in the casket cooking. It's still making. Once we got the percussion player, it's like, all right, we're getting there. We're on the way. At this time, I'm just so excited, and I feel so blessed, and I still do. But that I didn't care. I didn't put too much structure on it. I still guided, but very lightly. I was like, I was just so happy that we're getting together, we're playing music. So most of the time, it was just jamming, improv the whole time, no structure. Everyone do what you feel, come from the right place. That was the whole intention. But then the next phase, album. Now, when we're gonna put money down, put my name on something, it starts solidifying, like, okay, this is how it's gonna go. We need to change a lot of things to be more specific, and we're gonna record something. It's not a jam. We're gonna record something, and then that leads to the next phase, because some people were there to jam, so they don't. That's not gonna fit. So it's like, okay, if you don't want to be here for that phase, then we gotta make some adjustments. So then the next phase comes in, and that's when we record, and we're focused and very specific. The team became a little more developed. I got a manager, my man Luke, and that helped a lot. We got a producer who really, really helped with the recording, because like I said, this is all new for me. So, and it takes a lot of planning and work to be ready to go to the studio.
So how did you know that was the kind of music that you want to play, because this is a really rich infusion of music, but you don't see it. It's not popular like rap or reggaeton,
right.
you know. And for me, the surprising thing when I listened to your music that day, it took me back to, I said, Sima Funk, because it's you feel all that music. How did you know this is it? This is the kind of music that we want to play. This is the kind of fusion that we want to play, because it's easy just to fall into, you can hear the jazz, you can hear the funk, you can hear the drums, you can hear all of that. But how do you know this is it? This is the music that I want us to be known for.
It's not so much like what others, it's more like what I'm feeling. So like after the album, it became more like I've solidified my space as the leader, as the creative director kind of thing. And yeah, it started with James Brown, like, and Curtis Mayfield, like those guys. I was studying, and Jim Morrison, like from the Doors. So like I saw this movie about him, or the Doors, and it inspired me because he didn't have any training like me. Like he just decided he's gonna sing, and I was like, well, yeah, then I'm gonna do it. Like, cause it's like everybody feels like they're like professional, like it's like
you have to go to school, like get trained.
Yeah, like like, and I'm like, well, no, like, okay, he's just a poet, and he put his heart and soul into it, and he could sing, so maybe I can sing too, and I went with it. But so James Brown, Jim Morrison, Curtis Mayfield, and Curtis really was a heavy one because he infused his message so gracefully, and he infused Latin percussion into his funk and soul. Like it was beautiful. He's one of the top. Like for me is James Brown, and not in this order. Actually, I would put Curtis Mayfield above James Brown, even though James Brown is just the fire that lit up everything. But as far as my influence, Curtis really speaks to me deeply. And then that leads to Fela Kuti, who is my favorite artist, I think, if I had to choose one. He's my favorite. He created his own genre.
He did.
And he's like the one. Like, he's the one. And now all his kids and family, they carry on that
legacy.
Yeah, and it's a tradition, and they speak about, kind of like Curtis, very much like Curtis, where they speak their truth, and they're trying to do something for the people with the music, and combining all of that. So you see what I'm saying? It's like that's what I'm trying to do. That's what we're doing. It's like we're creating music that you can dance to, you can move, and still. So you awaken your body, you awaken your mind, you awaken your soul, and it brings everyone to a similarity, and it's almost a prayer. I would even say it is a prayer, but it's not a religious prayer. It's more of, it's just like people projecting together. Like it's more powerful than one projection. It's like on the same length, no matter your color, your race, where you come from, whatever. It's just like this beat got you, and once you're in it, we are all like we're flowing like water. Like it is, we're in it. So Fela and Curtis, James Brown, Jim Morrison, and of course then it was like Fania All Stars, which my dad would always be playing Fania All Stars, and I grew up on them, but I didn't. It was music that moved me, but I didn't like dig into them until like I was really missing Latin vibes. I was like, man, it's not here in West Washington. Like I didn't have any access to it. So I was then it took me on this journey to find your all stars and Buena Vista, of course, and like Anthony Santos and like you know, those were like my main go-tos.
So what it is that shocked you? You was shocked by how your music has been received, because when I was at the Sea Monster, just to see again, like what you said, I kind of love Sea Monster because of that, because the diversity. There's young and old. Mm-hmm. There is white and black. Mm-hmm. There is gay and straight. Yep. There is Spanish. Yep. There's
boys and girls, everything.
White, black. You know, I love for you to see that diversity embracing your music. Because I was there and I was like, nobody cared. Everybody was just having fun.
Yeah.
What it did to you to see how people embrace and receive your music?
I noticed that I think I have New York to thank for that, because it's no thing. Like it here is a thing.
Yes.
But like it's no thing over there, and I think that in spirit of that, it manifests over here. Because I notice, like, even when I don't play music and I have an event, it's like that. It's like it's a mix.
It is.
It's a mix, and I love it. Like it's because I never fit in. I fit in, but like I never felt a part of like the Colombian crew. It was like I relate, but something. Or the Puerto Ricans, you know, like I'm not Puerto Rican, but like I relate. I'm there.
You're not cliquey. You're not a cliquey person.
I was like always like I'm not a part of anything, but I can be a part of all of it. But I'm not. Yeah, I was like a chameleon, but like it, you know. So, and I ended up hanging out mostly with the Jamaicans because. I don't know. It's just that like we played soccer and
in New York. Yeah. And because that was what I enjoyed the most, when I saw the joy and how people came together, and that inclusion of people just having fun. You know, it was beautiful. Now, one of the things I wanted to ask you. It was about also something that I noticed about your music that has to do with environment. You talk a lot about the environment in your music, and the music is also making people aware of what's going on with our environment. The first time I heard you guys, and then you started to talk while the music was playing, and you was talking about the not only nature wise of how human beings too, that is not just the music and the beat and that is good, but you have a message behind it, you know. So how is that became that you said, you know what, I'm gonna play this music, I'm gonna bring people together, and I also are gonna have this message that talks to make people think about what is going on globally and also nationwide when it comes to environment.
I'm trying to think about like when it started, but like I know I always felt like, man, what are we doing? What is going on? Am I bad or good? Like, and it's not that simple, but like I'm just trying to go back to like where it started, and I think it got to a point. It's like, what am I gonna do about it? Like, because it's so overwhelming. It's like, yeah, I can complain about the world all day, but like, really, what am I gonna do about it? And that always stayed with me, and it's like a guilty thing in the back of my mind, because it's like I'm really not doing anything about it. So once this band formed, and I'm having a great time, and it was really reposado, like tequila funk. it was a lot of that when the band first, the big band, and it was like, oh man, I was just enjoying that I have rich musicians and like big band, and I get to like do my James Brown thing, like, ooh, I got to do it, like and it was like, yes. But then I was, it had a fade, and I was starting to like drain myself. It was like, okay, now this is what people are expecting, and like I might not be feeling it like that, and it's like, but I'm so used to giving people that. But then like I was draining myself, and then the pandemic hit, and it was like I didn't know what to do with myself. It was rough, but it was a huge blessing, because it gave me time to like reevaluate what it is that I'm doing. And I was always, I would say my truth, and it was mainly to bring people together. But in the pandemic, I realized, okay, people are coming together, they're getting there. They're moving. Where are we moving to? Like, what are we doing? Where is it going? And then I also realized, like, I'm not in this to entertain people, even though I'm in the entertainment business. But it's not like, it's a balance that I'm trying to figure. I'm always gonna be figuring out, I guess. But like, I'm not here to put on a show. I'm here to gather people and deliver a message of like, just wipe the plate, like give them a reset, go back to like even your childhood, where it's like, it's so much simpler. It's just, there's no distractions, and the rhythm, then once you get rid of the distractions and the rhythm, it's like, okay, now we're here, and the weight is off. And I think that is the key of what music should be, in my opinion. It should be less about putting people on a pedestal, or like putting on like a show, which, okay, distractions might be good sometimes, but I don't think we need more distractions. And I'm not trying to distract you, I'm trying to wake up, like
wake you up.
Yeah. So when I do what you're talking about, like speaking to the people, I don't really plan most of that. That is something that I'm learning how to let it come to me, because it's there, and there's a spirit or some, I can't put it into words for you, but there is a force or some kind of, let's just call it spirit. It's like I'm just making myself available, and it will guide me to deliver the message that needs to be said. Like, it just, I don't have to push it out anymore. It's like I'm learning how to access it. It's, it just.
So, and I was thinking, because I was thinking that we are born with a mission, and the mission that I for me personally, I think, is to impact this world. Whether we can do it in a small clip, we can say small, but using what you love to do as a mission, as an instrument to impact, and is also one of the greatest thing. When because a lot of times people just make music to see people have fun and to make money too. So let's go. I'm gonna go into that area.
Okay.
Financially, how hard it's been for you and the group? Because I know musicians, they struggle. Do you really get it together? Is a struggle for.
It's coming. It's coming. I think you reap what you sow, is what the saying, right? It's like, if you're putting out something from the right place, and you put time into like developing that, and it's respectable. You know, you make something respectable and not respected by the people. I mean, that is a result, but it is truly respected by you, and like you deliver it with respect. It comes back in forms of money or help, or or in so many forms. The energy comes, it just like you surround yourself with that kind of energy. That's what you put out. It's like the air you breathe. Like if you keep putting out toxic air around you, then you just gonna be breathing that toxic air. If you put out the good, like something you're proud of, something you are consciously putting out, and you care and you love it and you give it, it is going to surround you. It is going to protect you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so specifically with money, I mean, I have my opinions about how the city of Seattle, it works with artists, and like there are some beautiful organizations that are like trying really hard to put money in the pockets.
To elevate the musicians here.
It's not only musicians, like it's artists and everybody, but specifically musicians. Like I feel like Seattle is a musical city. It is, a lot of musicians are born here in Seattle, and the music is woven into this culture deeply, you know, and for it not to be at the top of the mountain where things trickle down, that is I think that's a little off. And okay, I'm a musician, so maybe that's why I'm saying that, but like
yes.
But things work smoother when you focus on music, like, or the arts, like, you know, just everyone's happiness, and things run a lot smoother. Now, right now, music is at the bottom of the mountain, and we get all the scraps and diluted water or whatever.
Okay, so I get what you're saying. So there's no investment when it comes to the arts. The part of arts that comes, the music that is part of arts gets the least investment here in Washington State. And that's one of the things that I've been complaining about myself. Being an Afro-Latina woman that loves music, and we were talking about live music, is something magical about live music. I feel personally that we live in, this state is, I feel like I'm living in a music desert when it comes to Washington State. I feel that we don't have that richness, again, of those different things that you get in New York, right? And you trying to open the doors to bring that new sound here, because I think R&B, there's not a radio station here that you can put on and listen to a Marvin Gaye or to what's her name, Gladys Knight, or even the new Erykah Badu, or we have this new girl that plays the bass. She's a black girl from Georgia. I can't remember her name.
Audio Oasis.
Yes. So we don't have
Oasis.
We turn on the radio, and we don't have that here, that you go to the South or the East Coast and that is available. And I feel one of the things that I wanted to do this show and open this also platform for local musicians, because I feel that there's something missing when it comes to music here in Washington State. And for you to say that you get the bottom of whatever's left when it comes to art here in Washington State, and music is is that music is so universal, right? That it brings people together.
I feel like the art community should have more of a say in the city, and that's also what I'm saying. We get the bottom, like we are a result. We don't cause any change in the grand scheme of the city. We do it all underground. You know what I'm saying? And it's very clear with the music culture, like, and I mean, there's so many musicians. You could throw a stick, and you're gonna hit a guitarist in Seattle. Like everyone is some kind of musical talent.
String.
It's beautiful in that sense where you can easily either start a jam or end up at one. Like there's jams going on more than I've ever seen in any city, and it's welcoming for all levels. Like it's just, that's beautiful. But when it comes to a working musician, it's like, you know, these venues, they're like, we're giving you $100 each, you should be thanking us. And I mean, I'm not unthankful, but like $100 ain't doing nothing.
You get 3 things
once a week.
You get 3 things in our store for $100 today, because stuff was so expensive.
And half of it is gas.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, so it's like that doesn't really make any sense, because some of these, you know, venues, you can't play other gigs for like 3 weeks because they want it to sell out or whatever, you know. They don't, like, they make a contract, you can't, but then you only get $100. I mean, this is kind of like an old mentality, and what I realized in the pandemic, as I try to treat Reposado, I am treating Reposado, not only is it my creative outlet, but I have to manage it like a business. So, and what I notice is a lot of the venues or bars or whatever, they don't treat musicians or bands or any, like, it's like, you're a band, you're not a business. Like, they don't treat us like that. So it's like, I'm very specific on who I work with. That's why I work with the Sea Monster, the Royal Room. You know, I want to be, they need to be talking business with me. If they want us to bring our business, they need to talk business with me. And it's been hard, because it's like, if I ask for anything outside of their normal guidelines that have been around for who knows how long, they're like, well, I haven't heard anything like that in 20 years. Like, what do you mean? This is ridiculous. Like, how do you expect us to pay our rent? And it's like, well, how do you expect us to pay our rent? You know, like, we're going to be bringing everyone, because most venues don't promote, you know. So we're bringing all of our people. We're going to promote. That's a lot of work. Then we're going to entertain all of those people. And if you're a good band, you know, well, it depends what kind of music you play, but in our case, we sell a lot of booze. Like, people want to dance, people want to drink, people want. So, like, we're bringing that, and then they're going to take money from the door, not give us any from the bar. You know, like, what I realized in the pandemic is as an artist, we do not need a venue. We can create our own.
And that was the advantage for a lot of artists in the pandemic, the 2-3 years of pandemic, that you realize that you don't need that middle person. We
don't. The space is nice, and if they have the sound set up and everything, it makes it easy, sure. But do we need it? No. Like, yeah, it takes more work if you want to do things legit, like to get a liquor license and this and that. But if, let's just say we have a space that we can have a party, and we have our liquor license, we're gonna make so much money. You know, it does take time and all of that, but like, if you're trying to make some money, then, like, I just feel like the relationship between the venues and the local artists, because they'll treat touring artists totally different. And it's like, I mean, I get it. That's a whole nother different business. But like local artists, like in the venues, they need to change the conversation, in my opinion. Like, and you know, some venues are, they don't. I don't think they would ever understand. Like,
I'm listening to you. And I'm seeing that there's no. It's almost like there's no value to your
they see
to your
numbers.
craft.
They see numbers.
There's no value to it. That because I remember when the first time when I hear you guys, I listen to you guys. I remember the Sea Monster getting crowded. 10 o'clock. I saw more and more people coming in. I said, wait a minute, what's going on? You know, there was more and more people coming, and it got so crowded. But I guess there's no value to it. What I wanted to ask you, we're talking about Seattle. We're talking about music in the sense that is a platform that you can use. Is an instrument, I want to say, that you can use to have a message behind it.
Oh, yeah.
And the politics and all the stuff that comes with being a musician. Goal wise, what it is you guys really want to accomplish as a group at the end of the day? If from 10 years now.
You know, I can't really speak for everyone, but I do feel like we are aligned in the sense that when we play, it's real. It's not. I mean, beyond that, it's like everyone might have a different little twist on what they want. I think we want to put out definitely a message that will bring people together and create a lifestyle. Even that would be cool. I think that's. Let me speak for myself. Like creating an alternative, just inspiration. You know, I think right now we just need inspiration, like to do something. Like we're still caught up in our comforts and how the system works and like I think we need to like have a moment of like, whoa, we can't be doing that no more. We need to change, but change it needs inspiration to move towards a different thing. So like I just want to be an instrument towards being a catalyst towards that, you know, like just encourage some change, because I don't really see how it can happen at this moment. Like there's just too many people doing what clearly doesn't work, like from my perspective. So we do want to do that. We want to tour the world, get the message out as much as we can, see where the music takes us, see how the music develops. We want to go to Africa. We want to gain, you know, I want to learn. I want to go to the Caribbean with this music and see what happens.
I wanted to talk to you about, I know you mentioned you recording. So how was the process of deciding that you're ready to record and you're going to have your grand opening May 12th? Talk to us a little bit about that. How was the process? How it became that you say, you know what, we can record? How much songs are in the recorder? Tell us a little bit how people can listen to or find out about what is going on with the recording on that aspect of the group too.
So May 12th at the Tractor Tavern, we're going to be playing with the legendary Earl Thomas. And he's like, I mean, look him up. He's been around for a while, and I respect, like, he dropped out of the industry because it was toxic, and I respect that decision. His story is pretty cool. Anyway, and it's gonna be our first time headlining, so he's gonna be playing. It's a co-headline, I would say, more than like he's opening up. But yeah, we're gonna finish the night, and we're gonna be releasing 2 songs on a 45, so on a little vinyl.
Oh wow, we're going back to that.
Yeah. Oh, that's that, and you can only get it at that show. Like, well, in person. That's the first time we're releasing it. So you can only get it there. We're not putting it online, at least for now. We sent it off to KXP, and they're gonna play those 2 songs. So yeah, in the recording process, it was amazing. I'll never forget how magical. I mean, it was like the city was moving around us. Like it was we decided we were going to do this, and then the build up, the practice, the energy was concentrating, and then we go into the studio, and it's also a legendary studio, Litho Studio, and everyone is like bringing it, like it's like it was a magical moment. I mean, it was so much work. We practiced, and we was in there for 5 days. We recorded everything live to tape, so you can't really mess with it too much. It has to be on point. And all these guys and gals were on point. So we recorded it on tape, and just a lot of synchronicities was happening. We had a tequila sponsor come in. We had a mezcal sponsor come in. They brought bottles of Reposado. You know, like it was a legendary time, and you could feel. I think without people knowing it, the word of Reposado like spread even before it was out. It was just like the energy was so special. It just kind of like everyone kind of was hearing about Reposado like because of this time. It was weird. We weren't playing out. We were focused in the studio, but somehow the word was spreading like a wildfire.
So the 2 songs. Tell us a little bit about that. Why those 2 songs and the name of them?
That's a good question.
Why you choose those 2 songs to record?
Yeah, it was hard to choose those 2 songs. Like, what song are we gonna release first, right? So Original, I would say is the first tequila funk song. Like it embodies the Latin, the Afrobeat. It has the message, the flavor. It has it was the newest song we built at the time. So on the album, I think it's the newest song. And it just represented what we're doing, where we're going, what is going on in a nutshell. And it hits hard. It just it's like fire. So, and then all you got to do is the opposite. Original also has Marina Albero, which is she's a legend. She plays the piano, and you've never seen anything like it. So she agreed to get on the album with us, and I was like, wow. So that was a huge blessing. All you got to do, one of my biggest influences, a local legend, Mr. Jimmy James.
Wow.
The guitarist, and I was like, man, I would love for you to get on the album. And he's like, sure. He's about the music, but he's a very busy man. So he said sure, and I was like, okay. I mean, practice is this day, come through, and he came through, and he heard that song, and he was inspired. So I was like, that really lit me up. He was really inspired, and then he came to the next practice unannounced, and he's like, man, I've been thinking about this song. I can't stop thinking. I need to show you something that I just like. And I was like, of course. He showed us. He elevated the song. Like it was like, so very special to me, and it represents actually like it feels like it's a summertime song. It's like so it's perfect timing, you know, like
yes.
and Jimmy James is on it, and Alex Rose, who she's just a magical singer, and she also brought the sauce in studio. We were like, we need vocals, and it's like Jefferson is her husband, who's the producer. He's like, can you call Alex? Like, would she be down? And he's like, yeah. Calls her up, she comes in, lays it down. It's like, so this song is just so beautiful, and to me it sounds like the most radio ready like song. It has like a bit of that something familiar to grab. It feels right.
And the second song?
The second song is so yeah. Side A is All You Got to Do. Second song is Original, and that is just the sound that we're creating. It's like it's just a firecracker of a song, and it has all the elements of what we're trying to do. Spanglish, you know, like it just has all of it. Afrobeat, Latin, it does it all. So
where's been the most fun? ¿Dónde ha sido el lugar or the most fun that you have played? You guys are played that you said I will do this 100 times, because I know you guys traveled too. I think you guys went to the islands. Where you went?
We went to Puerto Rico. Yeah.
So where is the place that you guys are said, you know, we just love the energy and the vibe, you know, where is your favorite place to play? Even though I know you guys still young as a group, you know.
The big band or in general?
The big band or I don't know.
Because I mean, me and those three musicians in the beginning, we lived in a van and just went.
Okay.
So we went to some places. We played on the edge of the Horseshoe Bend. You know the Horseshoe Bend? It's like the Grand Canyon.
No.
It's a kind of a part of that structure, but it's a beautiful canyon that just goes straight down, and the water goes like this. And we went right there, right on the edge, and we played music on the sunset.
Wow.
So that was amazing. Yeah, exactly. It's like the gorge.
Wow.
But I mean, so that was amazing. Here in Seattle, I love playing at the Sea Monster. I feel so comfortable. It feels like I'm embraced with a nice hug, and like we could even explore new things, and it's like there's no pressure. It's just like we're here, we're doing it. It's like it's all good, and the owner Mark has been very supportive, and he's making space for me to do my thing, and here's my ideas, and so I really appreciate that.
How does that music has changed your life? I know we was talking about that. How has that changed? If you wasn't doing music, what it is you would be doing?
I don't know, because
Oh my
when
God.
I first came to Seattle, I was homeless, so I was sleeping in my car with my dog and all my shit. So it was like it was rough, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get a job. And like I felt I was kind of arrogant, because like I was telling you, things were just kind of given to me like magic, you know. But this was the time where life was like, you're gonna learn. It's not like that. You're being a little too arrogant. You know, I'm like, I'm gonna get a good job. I'm from New York, you know. So like, but nobody was hiring me. So now I'm broke, hungry, in the back of my car, don't have any friends, and it's like I'm a failure. Like this is like, you know, when it gets really to that point where I'm really hungry, and I want to shower, and this sucks, and my art is not doing anything for me right now, so I'm a failure. So it's like, what am I gonna do? And it's like, there's a moment where it's like, well, maybe I don't belong here, I'm just taking up space, there's that. But then it's like, I think of my grandma, and my mom. I was like, that's ridiculous. I'm not gonna just do some crazy jump off a building for the thrill of it and just be done because it sounds exciting. Because I don't have anything, so I was looking for somehow to do something epic with my life. And jumping off a building is one of my scariest. I'm scared of heights, so it seemed like at least that, but then no. So so once I decided I'm not doing that, literally I'm in the back of my car, and the first thing I do is pick up my guitar. So like, and that was it. Like, it was just like, I had a conversation with myself that cleared things up for me, and that was it. It's that simple. It's like, the music is there, and the music is like the key that'll open things up. Like, it does things. It moves things. It like, it's deeper.
And so I'm gonna play a little game here with you. I'm gonna say one word, and you're gonna tell me the first word that comes to you. So we're gonna start with musicians. Celia Cruz.
So wait, what am I supposed to do?
So I tell you a word, and you.
The first thing that comes to me.
What are you thinking when you hear her name?
All right.
Okay.
So Celia Cruz. Azúcar.
Okay.
Yeah.
James Brown.
Oh man, James Brown. He's like
First thing that comes to you mind when you hear his name.
I mean, the first thing was like not a word. It was just like.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Third, Siembra. They're a little bit more younger than these two.
Yeah. Me voy pa mi casa.
Yes. Love. What first thing comes to your mind when you hear that word?
Oh, my family.
Your family.
Yeah.
Peace.
I still on my family, but something else. Peace. I feel like center, like like gathering.
Music.
Peace.
That is good. Favorite food. Comida favorita.
Sunnyside pizza.
Sunnyside pizza.
Yeah.
Oh. Favorite song.
Probably Express Yourself.
Wow. That's our
Charles Wright.
Is that?
Express yourself. Bum, bum,
Oh,
bum,
that.
bum, bum,
Okay.
bum. Yeah.
Wow, that is kind of even like up there, back, right?
All my influences are.
Favorite movie that you will watch over and over again.
That's a tough one. For one, I mean, the first thing that came to my head was Interstellar. I really enjoy Interstellar.
Okay. So what will you tell, and we sort of finishing the show, not so, who's gonna, what will you tell your younger you today, back then? Did you have to talk to your younger you today, what you would tell them?
How old am I?
You?
How old am I younger? Like, what age am I?
I don't know, 17?
17.
18? 20?
You gotta give me an age because there's a different message for all of them. I'm trying to set them up for success, you know.
20.
20 years old?
Yes.
20 years old, I was just starting to wake up.
Okay.
So, I would not really change much. Just kind of assurance, like, maybe even get out sooner.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even some guidance towards, like, buy a camera. The things that really changed me, I would kind of like get them going sooner.
Encourage.
Yeah.
What were you telling new musician today? Somebody that is trying to break out and do the same thing that you're doing. Is they come to you and say, JP, I know that you started this new thing. What would be the word that you would give them to say,
I don't really have
to encourage?
I don't really have encouragement, because I feel like if you are about it, then you need to hear it, like, for real. And we don't need more entertainment. So if you don't have something truly in you that you want to express for the greater good, then treat it as a hobby. Don't put your life into it. Like, find something that it's bigger than you.
I like that. So now, I want you to finish telling people, where is this event that's gonna happen to open up and have your first recording. We want to close with that, and if you guys are gonna play this week or next week, where it's gonna be, so they can check you out, go on live music and check you out. So if you want to tell them, do a little bit of where you guys gonna be playing, what you're gonna be doing, all that stuff.
All right, so check it out. We're gonna be at the Tractor Tavern, May 12th. Euro Thomas is going to be playing with us, and The Pain. Euro Thomas and The Pain. We're going to be releasing our first two pieces of work that we're really excited about. It's nerve-wracking, but this show is definitely going to sell out. Please go online, get your tickets as soon as possible.
Where?
TheTractorTavern.com.
Okay.
Yeah, you get your tickets there. And we don't have any shows that we're promoting right now. It's just that one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we normally play every week.
I know.
But
sure.
we gotta slow down so that people come for this opening.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you, JP. Thank you, Reposado. Tequila Fun. Thank everyone for listening. And have a wonderful day. Enjoy your family this Sunday. And I hope I see you guys going to this live music with Reposado, trying to, but they're going to put out their new recorder, 2 songs. So hopefully you guys go, because it's a burst of energy.
Yeah.
It's incredible. You have fun. You feel the music. You feel the energy. And I just want to tell everybody thank you. Gracias. Muchas gracias. And you guys have a nice day. Wonderful day. Thank you.
Peace.
You see, they try to distract us with all these fancy accommodations. But fellas, we know better than that, right? Yeah. You see, we don't need a big old house. Let's build one in Puerto Rico for some kids to go to school. Yeah. We don't need a fancy whip. Let's bring a bus over to Puerto Rico so people can go to work. You know what I'm saying? Yo, salud. Dinero, amor.
WC.
Okay, girls, let's go. Give me a K.
K.
Give me a Q.